Hold on, I got a call on line one, guys. Let me take this really quick. What up?
What up, Chill Town? How you doing?
What up?
I'm a Celtics fan. I like what you were saying about Jason Tatum, but I just joined like 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
What I was gonna say. My question to you is:
I just get these dudes that come into my comments. This one dude in particular that comes into my comments, and he talks about him like he's just fringe. And I'm thinking to myself, how many teams? Not just this season, right? Let's just go off the last 5 years. How many teams can you look at and go, this team got a dude, we building our unit around him. We got a franchise player in him. How many teams have that? Not many, yo. Not many.
Not many. Yeah.
And when I watch this dude, how many teams have a first-team All-NBA performer? Not many.
5 years, right?
Right. How many teams have a guy that's on their team that's a first-team All-NBA performer? And this guy is going to be first team this year too, by the way.
Yeah, for sure, he running for MVP.
Not many. How many teams have guys who are in the conversation for league MVP? Which I thought
what year was Giannis in when he won MVP?
That was in year 5. That was in the 8. That was 18-19. That was 5 seasons ago. Okay. 18-19, 19-20, 20-21, 21-22, 22-23. That's 5 years ago. 5 seasons ago. So when you get guys like that, right? When you get a guy like that, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be times when you see stuff from him and you're going to be like, damn, I wish he did this or he did this more. But watching him the other night against the 76ers, I'm watching this dude and completely leaving out. Everybody's looking at the fact that he didn't shoot the ball very well. He went 7 for 17. Right. And the fact that he does that because he falls in love with the long ball. He doesn't have that in between in his game yet. That in between, that 15 to 18, that 12 to 15, that's not in his game yet. And it's not in his game at a consistent level. Once that gets in his game at a consistent level, he's got all the other stuff, finishing at the rim, shooting the long ball. I think he's a top 3 player for the next 5 to 8 years. But that's first of all. I've seen him improve as a defender, right? So with all of that being said, these are the growing pains of him. But to have a guy like that, you would think that to see a potential generational talent, you would think that, yo, you need to get behind this dude if that's your crew. I ain't even a Boston Celtics fan. And I watch him and I'm like, yo, I'm big on him. I'm huge on him.
And if you're not biased, even though you're a LeBron guy.
Right. And I'm big. I love this kid. But to listen to these dudes talk about him like he's just fringe, I'm thinking to myself, what am I missing? I've been around the game for a long time. And I know what an all-time great looks like. And that's what this dude looks like. It's just growing pains right now. That's what this dude looks like.
They take away from what he did in the first 5 years. And remind you, he didn't even enter his prime yet. He's only, what, 24? You get what I'm saying?
25 next month.
25 next month.
He turned 25 next month.
Right now, he got the best record in the entire NBA, and he's front runner for MVP, and he was a starter on the All-Star team, 4-time All-Star.
Don't leave out the fact, my man, that he's been doing this. Marcus Smart out the lineup, Robbie Williams in and out the lineup.
No Brogdon.
No Brogdon. He's been doing this with these guys in and out the lineup. By the way,
exactly. Blake Griffin as well. Sam Hauser. What's that guy we had? When they traded Noah Vonleh, he did it with Noah Vonleh. Peyton Pritchard. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Marcus Smart missed almost 2 months.
Right, and he's still doing it, and they still at the top of the East, and it's got a lot to do with him.
Jaylen Brown hurt again.
I know I know Jaylen Brown, screwed up his face. That's courtesy of, and I dig Jaylen Brown too. Make no mistake about it. I think he's one of the best one-on-one players in the game.
He got robbed at the All-Star team last year, though.
I'm surprised he didn't make the All-Star team this year. He did make the All-Star team. I'm sorry. The All-Star game was so bad, I forgot who was in it, to be honest with you. I didn't even watch it, to be honest. I'll be lying. But it was so bad, man, that it was just so bad. But as you were saying,
Ant-Man. They didn't pick Ant-Man. They didn't pick De'Aaron Fox. That's what made me mad.
Fox got in. Fox ultimately got in
because KD and Curry got hurt. That's
right.
BS.
It was. I thought it was. It was.
Bro, Who made it? Jaren Jackson definitely deserved it. Somebody told me that Jaren Jackson don't deserve it over AD because AD averages more points. But you got to look at Jaren Jackson's impact. His defensive numbers is better. You get what I'm saying? And he played more games. You get what I mean? So Jaren Jackson is what, the third option? Because Desmond Bane is like what, the second leading scorer, right? Exactly. So you know what I mean? So he's not asked to do the number one thing. AD is the number one option on the Lakers. Feel me? Other than him and LeBron, even though they take turns, AD don't never want to take over like that. It normally be LeBron.
Right.
Because LeBron been trying to give him the keys to take over the team, but he never want to take over the team and lead.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And LeBron, he's still one of the greatest players of all time, right? But LeBron, like people get mad at me when I say LeBron is no longer a number one option. He's still elite. He's still a superstar. He's just a regression superstar.
Well, he shouldn't be. That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. T. Should he be? I mean, how many? If you think about the guys in the league, not just today, in the history, if your team is dependent on a 38-year-old to be the lead guy, that's not good,
right?
So I'm not saying that he can't score, but should he have to do it?
No, he's in year 20.
I already did that.
Guys, a chance though.
Yeah.
But a lot of those guys is inconsistent, they streaky. You know what I mean? So.
Fact. Absolutely, brother. I know where to find you at. What's up?
What's your one last question? So, what's your prediction on the like the finals? Like who you got going to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals?
I had the Milwaukee Bucks winning the NBA championship. I said that before the season started, and I'm still standing on that. I think that they're going to be in a dogfight with the Boston Celtics, and I look at that series, and I mentioned this in the past. The Boston Celtics, your starting five, your rotation. You look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Everything you got, we got. Everything. Right. You got a deep bench in Boston. Yo, we got arguably the best rotation player in the game in Bobby Portis, right? We got one of the better long ball. You got a long ball shooter and a scorer in Derek White. We got one of the better long ball shooters in Connaughton. We got one of the best bench players again in Brown, right? So we got guys like that. You got a rim protector in Robert Williams. Brook Lopez was in the defensive player of the year conversation, right? So then you get to your starting five. Well, you got a lead guard who's a lockdown defender in Marcus Smart. We got arguably the best perimeter defender in the game in Drew Holiday.
That's what I'm saying. We both got the top defending guard.
Everything you got, we got. So what this series I think will come down to, my best player is better than your best player. With all things being equal, right? Because Middleton is gonna do what he does. He looks like he's getting better back. He's back in the lineup and he's getting better. So this is gonna boil down to, and I'm a big Jason Tatum guy. With all things being equal, can you outplay Giannis?
Right.
That's what this is gonna boil down to. Now in the Western,
he been big for them lately. Drew Holiday. He been big for the Bucks. He's no longer like a number 3. He's looking more like a number 2. Yes. But he's not Jaylen Brown though. I say he's a better defender than Jaylen Brown because he's more disciplined. You feel me? But Jaylen Brown is a better all-around player.
Right.
And then,
he's bigger too. He's bigger too.
Right. Because Jaylen Brown, he's really a 3, but we moved him to the 2 because we had Jason Tatum. So if we would have put him at, we can't put him at the 4. He's too smart for the 4.
No, we can't do that.
So Jaylen Brown is like a combo guard. What do you call those guards / 4s? What do you call them?
Combo guard.
Yeah, that's what Jaylen Brown is.
Are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about a guard / forward. You're talking about point forwards. That's what you're talking about. Okay, that's what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying Jaylen Brown is a true floor general. I'm not saying he could play the 1. He could play the wing. He could play the guard. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. I will not fight that. So I'm looking forward to that. Of all the series, I like what Cleveland is doing. I think that they're still a year away. I don't think they're there yet because I think we still watching the maturation of Evan Mobley.
So who knows what they're going to do? And they're hurting.
Yeah.
That's why they went in and got Danny Green and offered him the most money.
Yeah. Anthony.
They offered Danny Green a significant role. You feel me?
Yeah, they did. Absolutely, they did.
ACL. He came back fast.
He did. He came back. I was surprised he came back as fast as he
And
did.
they
I was
just
thinking to
bought him out,
myself,
like, for what?
yeah. I was thinking to myself, oh, didn't he just tear up his knee? And this was like 7 months ago. This wasn't even that long. But he was ready to rock and roll again. So, but that's who I see. And in the Western Conference, I still think that the road to the NBA championship goes through the Golden State Warriors. And they're going to be in the playoffs. And until with Dre, Clay, and Steph healthy in the lineup, until somebody puts them out, they're the team to beat out West. I think Denver has the best opportunity to do it.
Okay.
I can appreciate what you're doing in Phoenix. I can appreciate that. But understand that what you gave up in order to get KD, that's going to matter later on. It is.
Let me ask you a question. So if Phoenix don't win this year, I don't consider it a failure because it's 20-some games left. KD's coming off an injury. Chris Paul's injury prone. He's past his prime. So KD got 4 years left on his deal. So all I'm saying is if KD don't win a championship between those 4 years, it's a failure.
Yeah.
But I think Devin Booker will get a ring. So if they lose this year, I'm not going to hold it against Phoenix.
Right. A bunch of people are, though. A bunch of people are. They're not looking at it like that. They're getting on. I'm basically getting on a crew, and you asking me to figure it out in a month.
Right.
That's basically what you're doing. So, all right, brother. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. No doubt.